Hi, this is attorney Jeremy Hogan and welcome to Legal Briefs. I've practiced law now for about 20 years and I enter into some sort of negotiation every single day, sometimes with opposing counsel, sometimes with a judge, sometimes with my own client, sometimes at formal mediation. But it's something I do every single day, and I'd like to today give you some tips on how you can negotiate like an experienced lawyer, all in under 4 minutes because we are Legal Briefs, and yes, I am that good. First off, in order to win a negotiation, it's vital that you know more than the other side. That's why buying a used car is such a horrible position to be in. You have much less information about the car than the person selling it to you. You know, how much did they pay for it? What are the problems with the car? All those types of things you don't know and they know. So that's why that's a horrible position to be in. You don't want to be in that position. So the first thing you have to do is do as much research as possible and know more than the other side, whatever you're going to be negotiating about. In terms of a legal case, that means knowing how strong your case is, what the weakness of the other side's case is, and knowing better than the other side what the outcome might be if the case doesn't settle. The second thing I want to tell you, and this really is the ultimate mistake, and I want you to always remember, you must never, ever, 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 under any circumstance do this, is you must not negotiate against yourself. And I mean never. That means never move from your position until the other side moves. For example, if you are negotiating your salary at a new job and they offered you $60,000 a year and you asked for $75,000 a year and they call you and they say, we can't afford $75,000, you don't ever then say, well, I guess I could work for $70,000. No, 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 no. You have to wait until they move from their $60,000, even if they offer anything in addition to the $60,000, before you move down from $75,000. Do not give the milk away for free. The third thing you need to do in any negotiation is to lock the other side in on their position. This might make you feel uncomfortable, but you need to memorialize any potential settlement terms in writing, and don't let any of the terms of the settlement negotiations get hazy. If your potential employer moves up to $65,000 from their $60,000 offer, you need to email them, thank you for the $65,000 offer, including 2 days from home starting August 1st. I will let you know by tomorrow. Always put it in writing, because I've seen so many negotiations go bad because the terms of the negotiations where they were left off were left hazy. So put it in writing. Okay, now finally, the fourth and fifth tips, and these are really key, folks. Listen up. This is what most people miss out on. 1, be prepared to walk away. And I really should say you have to walk away. You will never get or know if you are getting the best deal unless or until you walk away from the negotiations. And this really goes hand in hand with the fifth tip, which is don't agree to split the baby. And let me explain these in 2 important concepts. When you make the initial offer, which I often do as the plaintiff in the case, let's say we would agree to settle a case for $100,000 or whatever, and the other side responds, okay, we will offer you $50,000. Now they are signaling very strongly that they would settle for $75,000, the middle point. That is not always the case, but any mediator will tell you that is the signal they're giving. Now, if that is the case, my 6-year-old daughter could walk into that negotiation and get the $75,000. That is not a good settlement. So your goal is to now push past the number 75,000, and I would go so far as saying is that splitting the baby in this case is just for babies. So instead of splitting the baby, instead you signal right away that you would not agree for the split, and when the number gets there, if it ever does, you say no and don't move down to it. This is key. It's absolutely essential. So for example, going back to your salary negotiations, they offered you $60,000, you asked for $75,000. The obvious split is $67,500. They then offer you $65,000 and you move down to $70,000. They then think, okay, great, we're going to end up paying her $67,500, and they suggest meeting in the middle. Do not do it. Trust me, because you will want to split the baby, but instead you offer something new, a new term, or something minimal, like maybe the fact that you can use your personal laptop for work or something like that, and say that your bottom line is the $70,000. And yes, they may walk away and call your bluff as well. If that happens, do you think you can't throw in the towel at that point and they'll still accept $67,500? Maybe 1 in 100 times they won't do that. Maybe you pissed them off in some other way. But what I can guarantee you is that 100% of the time, if you agree to $67,500, you have a 100% chance of never getting a dime more. Other than negotiating against yourself, splitting the baby is the biggest mistake I see people make in negotiations. Don't make it. Don't agree to the split. Make them come up above expectations, or at least give them the opportunity. As Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So with that being said, good luck with your next settlement negotiations. You're going to knock it out of the park.